Before we actually come out, this is what should have happened. You should have had a fully written quote with all of the details, item by item, if you're having multiple things. If you'd had any queries and got back about that, we would have sent out an updated version of that quote so that you know exactly what to expect and what you are paying for. You should also take a look at the terms and conditions. There's a link on the bottom left box of that quote which takes you to where the full terms and conditions are on the website. If your job is the first job of the day at 8:30 a.m, then we will be pretty much on time. However, with every job after that, we do it in a list, one, then the next, and so we could be 1 hour, give or take, of the time specified. However, we do send you a link to your mobile or email, depending which you gave, so that you know that we're on the way. This link is a navigation link, and you can look at it to see where we're at, and it'll tell you also when to expect us and how long we're going to be. And when we arrive, we're going to look after your property, and we'll put blue overshoes on right at the start to protect your carpets. It would be useful if the area that we're going to be working in is clear so that we can get in there and put the tools down. And then before we start, we'll just make sure that we know what we're here for, and we'll explain how we're going to tackle it and when, if at all, the power is going to go off. Oh, and one last thing. Mine is coffee, milk and no sugar. With a rewire, the first thing when we arrive is we explain how we're going to proceed. And that usually means going around with you to make sure that you're okay with the positions that things are going to go in. So whether you just want to replace one item where it was, or whether you're moving something along, or if you want to put a new point in a brand new place. We'll go around with you and mark those up at the same time. After that, we'll explain how we're going to tackle it, and if there's any walls you don't want us to touch, we'll see if there's a way around that, for example, come in a wall behind. The next thing is we'll sort out our tools and parts, and we'll put them in one corner out of the way. And then we'll look at where we need to take up carpets and lift floorboards. When we do this, it's with a really neat tool that you can't even tell the board's been up. We don't rip them out like some people do, but we use a tool that lifts them up very carefully and very precisely. If you happen to be living at the property while we're doing the work, we'll also have some temporary power so that you can use a couple of things when we're gone. We'll aim to do floor by floor so you'll know exactly what the plan is each morning and what needs to be cleared so that we can get on with that work. And as far as burying the cables and making them safe, we'll cover the cables that are below the surface of the wall with a protective capping. That means that a plasterer can go over that and there's no hazard, and it will be super neat. And everything gets fully tested at the end before we even turn the power on. Plus the fuse board will be really well labelled so that you'll know exactly what's going on with it, and we'll explain it all to you anyway. Now once all the work is completed, we'll test everything to make sure all is okay, and then we'll clear things out, put things back as they should be, and we'll let you know when it's ready. And once it's all clean and tidy, we'll bring you to come and have a look at everything, and we'll explain how everything works. This would be the perfect time for you to ask questions. There's no such thing as a daft question. We want you to know exactly what's happened and also how to look after it in future too. If the work also requires any reports or certificates, then we'll send them to you the same day too. Once you are entirely happy with everything, you can pay by card, credit or debit, or by bank transfer. The details for bank transfer are on the original quote, and they will also be on the new invoice. The reference number is on there too. Please note that we do not take cash or cheques, but we do take any cards and also a bank transfer or bank payment online. But once we leave, that's not the end of it. You then have aftercare. So if anything should go wrong, just pick the phone up, email us, get in touch, and we'll put it right. We'll work until you're completely happy, so don't worry about that. All the parts and the work is covered. And then if you'd like to rate or review us, that is a win-win situation, because there's a little surprise that I have for those people that do review and those that give us a 5-star rating and a 5-star review on Google. Without your reviews, we'd be nowhere. And so that's why we've got a nice surprise for anyone that does give us a 5-star review. It's an ethical bribe, but I think you'll really like what this surprise is. And so if you've got any questions at all before proceeding, please let me know and I'll be happy to answer any of them. Thank you.